Eruvin Daf Tzadik Zayin. Today's email comes to us from Chaim Kessler from Baltimore, and he says, "Shkoyach for restarting the 8-minute daf. I was wondering lately why my 8-minute commute home from work seemed to be taking so much longer. Now I can use my time productively again. Keep up the great work." Chaim Kessler, Baltimore. Thank you. We're going back to the Mishnah. If a person happens upon a pair of tefillin on Shabbos, he's concerned that animals are going to destroy it. He's permitted to save older tefillin, but not newer tefillin. Today, the Gemara tells us a new pshat. Abu Shmuel says, new is referring to tefillin that have a ritzu in it, but they didn't make the kesher in the tefillin. Now, tefillin, halacha Missinai has a shin on the bottom and a dalid on the ritzuis of sharash and a yud on the ritzu shayad. Together you have shin dalid yud, because Baruch's name halacha Missinai. If you don't have it, it's not a proper tefillin. If it's not a proper tefillin, you can't save it. Now, if you were to make the knot on Shabbos, you're over d'oraisa. Therefore, you can't save it. According to Rav Chizda, what if you try to do a trick? You'll make a bow, you'll make like a shoelace, like we do with our shoes. So it's not a issa d'oraisa. That wouldn't be good enough because tefillin need a real kesher. That's not good enough. Abayi says that according to Rav Yehuda, if you were to make a bow on Shabbos, you're over d'oraisa. Yet in tefillin, it's not good enough for the tefillin unless you make a bow that's just like the kesher tefillin. If a person purchases tefillin from someone who doesn't have a chazak, he's not known to produce tefillin. So you have to have a chazak on that person first. What do? Chazaka is 3 times, according to Rav Shimon Gamliel. So you check one pair of roish, one tefillin of roish, one shel yad, and the third one could be either or. So you have 2 roish, 1 yad, or 2 yad and 1 roish. According to Rebbe, that says chazaka is after 2 times. For instance, if a woman marries a man and he dies, and then she gets married again the second time and he dies, she's considered katlanis after 2 times. She's not allowed to remarry 3rd time. So in order to get a chazaka here, all you need to do is check 1 roish, 1 yad, and that's enough. But according to everybody, if you purchase piles of tefillin, each pile most likely was manufactured by a different cipher. So each pile needs its own chazaka. The Mishnah tells us that if a person found tzvatim and krachim, he must wait there until the end of Shabbos. What's tzvatim and krachim? It's the same thing. Tzvatim is just a pile of tefillin that consists of shorei shel yad tied together and a bunch of them. And krachim is just a bunch of tefillin that are not bound together as a pair. If you find them, you have to wait there until the end of Shabbos. The Gemara explains, because there are so many of them that if you try to save them, you'd never be able to save all of them by the time Shabbos goes out. So you might as well just sit there and wait until Shabbos is over. The Mishnah tells us that if you're concerned from Goyim, there's a gzeira that you can't wear tefillin. If you're found with tefillin, they'll kill you. So you cover the tefillin and you run for your life. But if you're concerned for listim, robbers, then you could walk dalit pachais medalit amas. You walk a little less than 4 amas, stop a little less than 4 amas until you get to the city. Reb Shimon argues, don't do dalit. What you do is you give it to your friend, and the friend gives it to another friend, etc. And what's a machlokes here? Since according to the Tanakama, giving to your friend and friend to the friend is more of a chilul Hashem. People will see that it seems like you're mechal Shabbos. There's a lot of people doing it. On the other hand, Reb Shimon says that if you go less than dalit amas, you're very likely to break the dalit amas and be over a d'oraisa. The Mishnah tells us that you could do the same trick, giving it to your friend and a friend to a friend, when it comes to an infant. What happened? A woman gave birth in the middle of the field. And the chiddush is that although, and the Mishnah says the word, even 100 people, although 100 people are touching this infant, and it might be dangerous for the infant, nevertheless, that's the better route to take, rather than going pachais medalit amas. Rabbi Yehuda says, even when it comes to a barrel, in other words, the water within a barrel, you could also do pachais, give it to your friend and a friend to a friend. What exactly is going on here? We know that Rabbi Yehuda says that when you borrow any vessel from your friend on Yantiv, you are limited to the tchum. Each vessel has the tchum of its owner. So how come over here, when it comes to water in a barrel, Rabbi Yehuda holds you can go out of the tchum? Now, when water is inside the dough, Rabbi Yehuda says water doesn't have a tchum. But when water is visible or water is gravy, then Rabbi Yehuda has to agree that it has a tchum. So Rava says what's going on here is that the barrel was kind of shvisa, it has a tchum, but the water was drawn once Shabbos came in, so it doesn't have a tchum. And what's very interesting is that the barrel becomes bottled to the water, because the main thing here is the water. I want to get the water from here to there, I just need the barrel to help me. So the barrel is a bottle, just like if one carries a human being on a bed on Shabbos, he's patur because the human being you're not chayiv for chayin noisas atzmai, and the bed you're not chayiv for because it's batal to the human being. The same thing if you carry fruit that's less than a gregaris, less than the shear, you're not chayiv for the kli either because the main thing is the fruit, and for the fruit you're not chayiv. What's mashma is that from the Braisa that this halacha of chaveri to chaveroi is only when it's a caravan, a bunch of people. So one pshat is, in fact, our mission is talking about a caravan. Another pshat is that caravan has a special heter. They were honest, so they could carry chaver to chaver even if the water was there before Shabbos. A third pshat is that the barrel and the water are hefker, and if they're both hefker, they both don't have a tchum. And Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri says everything has a tchum, even hefker. Have a wonderful day.